from Nashville, Tennessee. It's the Three. And here's your host, Laura Harris-Smith.
Hi everybody, I'm Laura Harris-Smith and welcome to The Three. I am happy to tell you, in case you saw last week, we are here again today with naturopathic Dr. Jordan Rubin, part 2. So if you didn't see part 1, you got to hop online and go watch that at theTHREE.tv. You can find us on YouTube. But I'm excited today because last week we spent an entire episode teasing these books of his and wound up spending the majority of the time talking about his amazing health journey when he was 19 years old. Eventually lost over 100 pounds, severely sick, started out in the digestive tract with Crohn's disease, and a journey that led him to trying over 70 alternative treatments. I'm telling you, that is quite an amazing journey. So, getting down to 80 pounds. If you didn't hear the full story, you can read it in The Maker's Diet, which is the book that we covered mainly last time. But this time, Jordan, welcome back, and we're going to be talking about really, this is my wheelhouse right here. I love essential oils. I heard from you the last episode about how you were introduced to essential oils. But then what took you, what number book is this, first of all, and then what took you from that journey to actually, you're an expert now, you're writing about it.
That is 26 or 27.
Okay.
One of those two. This is a great book. It's co-authored with good friends, Dr. Josh Axe and Ty Bollinger. And I really think of it more as a reference guide. It's not something that you read through cover to cover.
Oh, it's beautiful
There's
too.
really information on almost every oil, loads of herbs and spices and vitamins and minerals. And probably the most user-friendly part is the protocol. So if you are dealing with any health challenge, we have diet, exercise, essential oil, supplement tips.
I love it.
It's really, really great. And great recipes. Essential oils are amazing in recipes.
And illnesses in there, what you can do about them.
Colic to cedarwood. See, you just flipped right there. And my first essential oil blends, I created them in 2003 for the Maker's Diet book because I figured oils have to be part of, yes, oils have to be part of the biblical landscape. And so we were able to create an AM and a PM blend. I still think of those very fondly. And then when I teamed up with Dr. Axe years later, he had written curriculum on essential oils, and we created the Essential Oil University. And then we wrote for Destiny Image, Essential Oils, Ancient Medicine. And it was really a labor of love. There are some really amazing parts of this book. Probably my favorite is a treatment we call BHW, by his wounds. So I don't want to go into details here, but if you read this, you'll see that not only did I go through Crohn's disease and 18 other illnesses, I was diagnosed with terminal cancer in 2008. The Lord healed me from that, and I've asked the Lord recently to not make any more of my healings need to be the subject of a new book or company. But part of what I did every day, because you asked me where I got into oils, I learned about them in the early 2000s or late 90s, and even before that with my dad. But when I was going through a natural and supernatural healing for cancer, I had an essential oil massage every day for 40 days. I would do lymphatic drainage. I had all kinds of different things. It was sort of a self-directed program, but in this case, I had somebody give me essential oil massages.
Good for you.
And I felt like there needed to be something that was faith-based that could incorporate God's healing medicine. So By His Wounds is a biblical healing sort of program where you have someone you love or that is willing to give you a massage, and it goes like this. You basically apply oils everywhere Jesus bled. So you're doing it on your wrists, you're doing it on the crown of your head, on your feet. So if you think, you know where all of these, where this is going. And here's, I think, the most amazing part. So when you're on your stomach, you apply 39 strokes of, after you put the oils down, on your spinal cord, which represents the 40 lashes minus one. And I love the worship song that Stephen Curtis Chapman and others, By His Wounds, So I would play that during the time. And we recommend when people are dealing with particularly cancer, but really anything, that you do that, have that massage done to you a few times a day while you're playing worship music.
Wow.
And it's really amazing because it's symbolic of Jesus's blood that was shed for our sins, but also for our healing, because by his stripes or by his wounds we are healed. So worth the price of admission. It's the only place we have this information, the by his wounds essential oil therapy.
I love that. I love how you just weave it all together, body, mind, and spirit. Well, when we come back from the break, I want to talk more about that, but also about the intent of oils. Oils carry intent. So I'm glad you mentioned the massage part. Now I've got you hooked. You're like, okay, I could do that. I could do a massage every single day. We'll come right back after the break. We've got more with Dr. Jordan Rubin. Hi, I'm Laura Harris-Smith, inventor of Quiet Brain Essential Oil Blend. You know, if you would have told me 2 years ago when I was mixing that very first little bottle that we would have thousands of customers from all over the world and that we'd have to quadruple our staff to keep up with the demand produced by our international TV infomercial, I'm not sure I would have believed you. And if you told me I'd be hearing regular testimonies of improved sleep, reduced stress, migraine relief, even help with other neurological challenges like seizures, PTSD, tremors, muscle spasms, even anxiety, well, I probably would have cried. And sometimes when I'm reading a Quiet Brain testimony, I do. But if you would have told me 1 year ago when we introduced our Quiet Brain Variety Gift Box that it would become the biggest selling item on our online store at quietbrainoil.com, I would have said, I believe it. The reason is because I created the gift box to be the perfect combination of all of our Quiet Brain products. The oil itself for topical use on the skin that contains only certified pure oils that can cross the blood-brain barrier and bring speedy relief and neurological support. And our aromatherapy line with our Quiet Brain shampoo and conditioner, candles, inhalers, all of which use the nasal passages to gain direct access to the limbic brain, which is the emotional center of the brain. So whether you need to use Quiet Brain topically or aromatherapeutically, the Quiet Brain gift box has everything that you need. And now we've given our gift box an upgrade without increasing the price. It now comes with our satin Quiet Brain Sleep Eye Mask. Just put a few drops of oil on the nose guard and you're on your way to enjoying a good night's sleep. And it all comes packaged in a beautiful gift box and delivered to the destination of your choice or sent to you so you can use it for 7 different gifts or keep a few for yourself. When sold separately, the items in the box are $160, but you're getting it for $135. That's a $25 savings, meaning that you're getting the nasal inhaler and the shampoo and conditioner for free. The Quiet Brain gift box comes with 1 Whisper Quiet Nightlight diffuser with 16 color options and intermittent mist options, 1 dropper bottle of Quiet Brain, 1 Quiet Brain nasal inhaler, 1 Quiet Brain candle, the satin sleep eye mask, and your healing shampoo and conditioner. And remember, both are color safe, aloe enriched, paraben and sulfate free, loaded with wonderful ingredients like unscented coconut oil, olive oil, sugar beet betaine, and of course the Quiet Brain blend with its 8 essential oils like lavender, frankincense, myrrh, sandalwood, and more. We get repeated testimonies of both being used with great effectiveness during headaches for pain relief. So go to quietbrainoil.com to order. Quiet Brain is a great gift for any time of the year, but especially for seasons like these that bring additional stress. Give the gift of health and peace this year. Give the gift of Quiet Brain. Hey everybody, I'm Laura. You're watching The Three. We're here with naturopathic Dr. Jordan Rubin. You've got to be enthralled, as I am, at how the Lord took this severe illness that Jordan had, multiple, but that started in his teen years. And now, all these decades later, he has spent his life and devoted, really, you've devoted your anointing to the task of getting you healthier body, mind, and spirit. Now, we don't have time to talk about all 27 books, but we are talking today about the Essential Oils book that he has, and then also we're going to be talking this segment about essential fasting. This is also one of my favorite topics. I know that sounds really strange. My husband will say at church, nobody loves fasting except Laura Harris-Smith. I'm like, nobody loves fasting, but I'm addicted to the results body, mind, and spirit. So tuck that away. That's next. But I just want to ask you, we have, as I began to study essential oils, and for me it was before I was even a nutritionist. It was before I was a naturopathic doctor. Like you, it was, I have to have this. I got to live. And one of the things that I noticed in my studies was that it was a study done by, I think, Dr. Young, and he had studied how oils carry intent. In other words, the night God gave me the recipe and I'm weeping and worshiping, we now create every batch in that environment. There's no talking, it's just worship. We believe, because of these studies and the frequencies where he showed that oils actually can carry that. They change frequencies based on who's using them, how you're applying them, that kind of thing. And so we recreate that environment, and honestly, Jordan, it helps bring light to, James 5, talking about, are any among you sick? Let him call for the elders, and the prayer of faith, bring the anointing oil, and it will make the sick person well. So it's almost like in that moment, if faith is there with the oil, it carries that. So at our altar, the church we pastor in Eastgate, we'll have the specific oil. I keep oils in my purse.
Awesome.
We anoint with the oil that they need. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I love about what you do, is that you really put it all together. So talk to me for just a minute about, and I know I'm putting you on the spot here, but if you had a favorite part in this book, and it's going to tease, this is the part where they're going to be like, okay, I got to get the book. Favorite part in here, and it's the part that's going to convince them they need essential oils. What is it?
I think the protocol section, first of all, the By His Wounds therapy is by far my favorite, because it puts you in a state of worship, and it will remind you of the reason we deserve and we have healing. By His wounds, by His stripes, we have been healed. And that's a hard one for those of us who are struggling with health issues, because if He did it, why don't I have it? That's an amazing part, and as I said, worth the price of admission. The protocol section's great because you have 6 children, right? I have 6 children, and how often do we not have a bump, boo-boo, sniffle, or something like that? So if you've got anything under the sun, we have a protocol that combines essential oils, herbs, spices, supplements, diet recommendations, etc. So just for that, that's really amazing. But I will say a distant third is the recipe section, because you can use essential oils as great flavorings. One thing that I do, every morning, so I do oil pulling, which is basically using coconut oil as a mouthwash, and I'll put a drop of cinnamon in my mouth.
I've never done that.
Well, it's a little dicey, so let me tell you what I did this morning. So I took my coconut oil, and you know how sometimes oils won't come out of that little, they call it the orifice reducer? So my orifice wasn't reducing, and I had to pull, well, you know how it goes, you know what I'm gonna say. So I pulled the top off, dumped cinnamon in, and it got here, and cinnamon's hot.
Oh my gosh,
so I had about 10 seconds and I had to spit it out. But so I'll use clove or cinnamon. Then I'm blessed to have a steam shower in my bathroom. So today I had clove in there to vaporize. My son was dealing with foot calluses. He plays football. So before he went in our sauna, I filled a little plastic basin with water, and then I used a combination of lavender and eucalyptus so he could breathe that in. My wife burned herself, I think, on a pot or pan, and so lavender is great for that.
It is.
And I could go on and on. I had dry skin on my elbows, and I have an essential oil blend with olive oil and beeswax. So you will use oils all the time. My kids diffuse them. I mean, it's if you don't have oils, you have no idea what they are. If you do, you don't know how you could live without them, and you keep running out over and over again.
So I have my doctor's bag. You know, you have the big with the kit and all of your product, but then I have my doctor's bag, and then I also have another thing that I carry with a diffuser and the oils in it, because if I'm going to be helping someone or ministering to someone, I want that going into every, all the molecules in their body. I have a daughter who had oral surgery last year, had her wisdom teeth out, and we were talking about, we wanted to prevent the dry sockets, and I was trying to get her to put clove in there. Mom has some clove oil. Well, she didn't do that, and the dry sockets came, and she winds up at the dentist, and guess what he packed her gums with?
Eugenol from clove.
It was the clove, So I just said, okay, next time listen to Mom. But I mean, for millennia, they've put clove in many remedies,
Chew
but
on
especially
it, absolutely.
that. So I love the reports coming out of Canada about people are starting to use essential oils. People are starting to use even xylitol. They're putting xylitol in chewing gum and reversing cavities. So, oh my goodness.
They use essential oils at Vanderbilt Hospital for diffusing, not for all the things that we would recommend, but it's really arrived.
That is,
and you
I
mentioned
agree.
Gary Young earlier. Yeah. You know, some people, you mentioned about selling and signing up, and people that I talked about essential oils, they sometimes have a negative opinion because they think it's only sold through network marketing, which some people don't love that form of marketing. But Gary Young, who I don't know, he took something that was relegated to a very small shelf, sort of fragrances,
he sure did.
and he made it an amazing, approachable, I'll call it science. And you know, we owe him a debt of gratitude. Not to say that some of us agree with everything he believes or says, but essential oils are an integral part of our lives. And we didn't even mention how great is it to clean a countertop while also getting aromatherapy.
I killed ants with peppermint. Okay, there's possibilities are endless.
You can scare, supposedly mice don't like the smell of peppermint. And so if you have mice, they will be repelled by peppermint. I tried to do that once. I soaked something in peppermint and then I saw the mouse eating it. So I don't know if it's really true. But you can look up, peppermint is a natural sort of rodent repellent. But it's good for the brain too at the same time. Give you fresh breath.
And also
make julienne fries.
But also for nausea. Because what I will do is, and my children have seen me do it for years, if they're nauseous, I put a drop, do like this, a cup there, and I say breathe it, open your mouth and breathe it until you feel it in the pit of your stomach.
And you will.
Nausea gone.
You will.
Yeah, you'll feel the little burn. Yeah. All right, you gotta get the book, all right? Essential Oils, Ancient Medicine, Dr. Josh Axe, Ty Bollinger, and Dr. Jordan Rubin. We've got one segment left, and we're gonna be talking about this book. It's his newest, Essential Fasting, 12 Benefits of Intermittent Fasting. I'm gonna tell you, it works, and I can't wait to tell you all about it after the break. Stay close.
Neuromatics Oil is a family of therapeutic-grade patented oil blends created by nutritionist and author Laura Harris Smith. Invented for her own lifelong journey for neurological health, Quiet Brain now helps those worldwide who suffer from insomnia, migraines, anxiety, seizures, tremors, and more. Quiet Brain contains oils like frankincense, myrrh, lavender, sandalwood, and others. Next, Happy Brain is a bright mood-lifting citrus blend and contains oils like lemon, lime, clementine, spearmint, and more. Users say it combats depression and even aids in weight loss. Next is Sharp Brain, Laura's Focus Blend, also used to improve cognitive memory issues with oils like coffee, cinnamon, vanilla, clove, and others. Each $69.95 bottle is a 10-week supply if used daily, or about $1 a day. And right now, buy 2 bottles and get the third one free, and get a free eye mask using the promo code on your screen at neuromaticsoil.com or at 1-855-784-3827. That's 1-855-QUIET-BRAIN.
I'm naturopathic Dr. Laura Harris Smith, and if you'll give me 10 days, Give It to God and Go to Bed can help you stress less, sleep better, and dream more. There are even links inside to my free 10 Days to Deeper Sleep and Dreams program and 10 Goodnight videos.
Can you close your eyes and just still listen to me?
The whole book takes place in your bedroom, and with chapter titles like The Junk Under Your Bed, The Treasures in Your Bedroom, and The Monsters in Your Closet. Give It to God and Go to Bed helps you learn to rest and hear God speak in dreams. Take back your sleep and dreams, my friend, with Give It to God and Go to Bed.
Hi everybody, welcome back to theTHREE. I'm Laura Harris Smith, and Jordan, we've got one segment left. I don't know how we're going to do it. God give us grace and an anointing to cover everything. You are such a plethora of information because of what you've been through, because you've owned this. And you're not just telling us things that work based on some study that you did. You've lived it. It's worked for you. And another one of those things is not just something that you do, but something that you don't do, which is how to abstain, the times of day, the times of year. Fasting is has such a multi range, that you can cover. But what we want to talk about today are some of the secrets that are in his book. It's called Essential Fasting, 12 Benefits of Intermittent Fasting and Other Fasting Plans for Accelerating Weight Loss, Crushing Cravings, and Reversing Aging. Okay, I like all of those. So I'm going to tell you that I started intermittent fasting about 5 years ago, and it has made all of the difference. I mean, I ate so much fruit that I wound up pre-diabetic. And so it curbed that. It gets your insulin levels down and really helps, curb all of that. And so talk to us about the importance of about what it is, in case someone doesn't know or hasn't heard that phrase.
Well, I started intermittent fasting when I was 22, believe it or not. So it's been a long time for me. And when I learned about it, it wasn't called intermittent fasting, but it was revolutionary to me because I was somebody who had already talked about biblical eating, had already thought about biblical eating, and was healed from it. But this idea of when to eat and when to cleanse was revolutionary to me because the back cover of the book says, unlock the healer within. And some people think, well, that doesn't sound right. Well, God says in Ephesians 3:20 that he will do immeasurably, exceedingly abundantly more than we could ever ask, think, or imagine according to his power that is within us. His power within us is to heal and replicate. When we break a bone, we can set it, we can bandage it, we can sling it, but we don't do a whole lot. Same with a cut. We can cover it and wash it off, put some oils on it. There is an ability within our bodies to heal. It happens when you remove the interference. Because when we're eating all the time, your body marshals resources to digest the food, kind of leaves the shop unguarded, right? And so if we can eat for a shorter window of time, the body will cleanse during that process. And some people might say, well, I can't go without breakfast. It's the most important meal of the day, said a cereal company.
Yes.
And listen, I love Mother's Day, but a greeting card company developed that. But cereal and milk for breakfast is diabetes for lunch.
It is.
Breakfast is not about eating a lot in the morning. In the Bible, even in recent history, I talked to my grandmother before she died, they didn't eat a big breakfast. They ate at night when it was dark, when there was no fighting, when there was no working. So to me, when I started fasting and eating either a late lunch or just dinner, it was revolutionary. And I was never one who could water fast very long, and I felt guilty about it because I juice fasted and wasted away. I got sick from it. I didn't feel well. I could do a bone broth cleanse, but to me, intermittent fasting is the best way to do it. And it simply means you manage your eating window or your building window and your cleansing window. And some people say, well, how do I get started? Move breakfast back to noon.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Maybe even 10 a.m. I haven't eaten today, and I can tell you I'm energetic, I'm focused, and I think back to childhood. Every class I had in school after lunch, I was asleep, I had worse grades, bad behavior. Before lunch, I was all about, get ready for the bell to ring, etc.
It's the opposite of what we've been told.
It is. Who do you want to face in a jungle? A hungry lion or one that's just eaten? We're more suited for athletic events, and people don't believe me on this one, for speaking engagements, for test taking, presentation, meeting on an empty stomach. Those 3 o'clock sort of energy sucks where we try to drink coffee and stimulate, it's because we've eaten.
I was propped up on caffeine and wound up with adrenal issues. I think the thing that intermittent fasting, which I usually am in a 12-hour, I'm like 12 and 12, because I'll have that snack at midnight and then go to bed, or, which that's a whole other topic I shouldn't be doing. But I do feel more focused. I pretty much live in a state of ketosis. I try to. And I love what it does to my brain. I never write a book now out of ketosis. I am like a ninja. I can write a book in like 30 days, because I just am so focused. I've written one with keto flu where I was trying to get into ketosis and I couldn't even think. And so it really does. You're so right. Okay. You talk about the 12 biggest benefits of fasting. What do you just name 3, and then they got to get the book and read the rest.
Well,
what are 3?
Most people that I help with that are dealing with either a chronic inflammatory disease, autoimmune disease, or cancer, I have them go on an intermittent fasting program to allow the body to work. Now, when you do that, you can drink some raw juices, veggie juices. You can consume what you'd call unsweetened teas or lemon juice. So I'm going to say weight loss, not because it's the most important, but it happens fast. If you intermittent fast, men will lose more than women. I know you don't like to say that, but it's true. I do believe that your body will detoxify better, so I'm going to call it detoxification. I have to say brain is number 3 because you are heightened and alert. I'll throw in number 4. When you're finally ready to eat, you're truly hungry.
Yeah.
Your digestive juices are working, and you're very efficient, and your insulin levels improve. So if you are hypoglycemic, you have metabolic syndrome, which is prediabetes,
that's what I had.
you are much better off. Most people eat for 16 plus hours a day. It's when you start eating and when you finish. My wife and I did a fast last year, 50 days, and we ate for 1 hour a day. Now that was a little bit tough, but it was about 1,000 times easier than a water fast. And we got 23 hours a day of benefits.
Okay, so I've done that. I basically only ate dinner. I did it for 80 days. I know now more than I did then about what I should have eaten during that one meal. But
yes, you have to do it in a proper structure. We were always looking at our watch like, we got 5 more minutes.
Now we have to do it.
Yeah,
no,
but there's science that shows when you eat the same foods in 4 hours versus 12, the same foods, you will have better blood sugar, less inflammation, better brain health. The same foods.
Right.
So what's working? The fast. And by the way, through biblical times, people fasted.
I was going to go
in
there,
the woes that Jesus talked about. I know we think Pharisees were all bad, but they were originally carrying God's laws and their interpretations, and they fasted twice a week because that's what Jesus said. Woe to you, you fast twice a week. You tithe with dill, mint, and cumin, which are great spices. Fasting was a part of life. People today have a hard time absolute fasting, which is no water, which is difficult. Water fasting can even make some people feel toxic.
Right.
Anybody can intermittent fast. Skip breakfast tomorrow. You will be more focused and healthier by lunch. It's that simple. And this book will teach you how to do it, give you recipes, programs. And honestly, if you want to have a little bit of weight loss for the proverbial 20-year reunion, 30-year reunion, there's nothing better than essential fasting. And it's interesting.
It is so true.
Larry at Destiny said, hey, can you write a book called Essential Fasting, a follow-up to Essential Oils, Ancient Medicine? And I said, most people don't think fasting is essential, but we do it every day.
It is.
Whether we know it or not. Our 8 hours of fasting at night. So why not just use fasting as a powerful weapon for good versus by default? Oh, I'm just going to breakfast. I'm going to break fast.
I'm just going to breakfast.
Yeah.
So then, Jesus didn't say, if you fast, go into your room. He said, when you fast.
Yeah.
So I'm
brush your hair.
Addicted.
Put some oil on.
I'm addicted to the benefits of fasting, which spiritual benefits with prayer and that type of thing. And so, I'm really glad that you shared these things. I actually wrote an ebook on fasting. It's called Hunger for God. The original title was Fasting for Dummies, and my husband thought that would really offend everybody.
It's much more positive, the actual title.
Yeah, well, it just is, again, just the benefits of not just physical, not just spiritual, but even, as we've said, the emotional benefits, the mental benefits of it. Jordan, we need like a whole other show, so we got to do this some other time, but I'm so thankful for the opportunity that we finally got to meet you and sit with you. Please come back.
Great. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
And guys, you got to get his books. Look up Dr. Jordan Rubin. You're going to find a plethora of information. He's on television, New York Times best-selling author. You'll have no shortage of getting wisdom from this man. All right, we'll see you next week on The Three, everybody. I'm Laura Harris Smith. Bye-bye for now.